I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter.
This is the Family Show! Howdy folks, welcome to my, Rebecca's, Top 100 Games of All Time, 2018 edition. Hunter is here with me today, and we are going to discuss some of the best, my 20 through 11. Delightful.
The last list was delightful.
Yes.
This list has to be somewhere above delightful.
Awesome. This list is awesome.
Awesome. Then what do you got left for 10?
Amazing!
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
We
Get
got the bar here. Okay. Let's do this.
All right.
Right, jumping right in.
We're jumping right in. There's no reason.
No.
Don't mess around with greatness. What?
You're not gonna like psych them up or trick them up or.
How are you not already psyched
it's like
up?
a pep rally.
Oh, yeah, it's top 20. Oh, it's gonna be amazing. Okay, is that better?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. So my number 20 is new. That's right. You heard me. It's new. You know what's scarier? It's got dice in it.
What?
You bet to, like, psh, the universe exploded, right? It is the greatness that is Coimbra. Coimbra. This game from the first play. Cool. So, yeah, roll dice. And you use those dice to select some actions based off of what you rolled and what you want to do with things. Let me show you. Meanwhile, while you're doing all of these wonderful things with the dice, you're traveling around on your board, trying to claim as many places as possible, because they do things for you too. And the lid won't come off, so I'm never going to get to show you. All right, so here we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Here we go. So, I got to show you this because the board's pretty cool. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Not a huge board. Nice standard size board. Okay. Colorful, colorful. We've got, over here, some different tracks. We've got tracks that are victory points, that are money, that are shieldy things, and some movement that help you travel around.
Movement.
I don't remember the terms. I'm terrible with that, unless I played them a lot. You've got little meeples that are a rampant lion. You have little regular boring meeples. You have little boring cubes. But what you do with them is fun. And then what's cool is you got the little mini castles. You get to put your little dice in these little mini castle things. It's very cool. So, if you noticed, some of these buildings and stuff have 1, 2, and 3. There's different levels to this. Oh my gosh, there's so much going on in this game. So in the different phases, you get different abilities and things. I'm trying to remember. What was the difference? It was like the ability ramps up, doesn't it, on the victory points or whatever, if I recall. There's also these locations that if you finally make a path to that location...
No.
No, it's not to it?
Those are in-game scoring cards.
Oh, these are the end gamers. Okay, sorry. It's been a while since I gotten to play this, and I'm trying to look at all the cool cards. You're like, ugh, amateur. I know. That's me. So, but anyway, okay. Here, explain the cards while I'm looking at the goodies.
Alright, so roll dice, you're taking those dice, you're putting them in places to draft cards. The cards give you various things. They give you immediate bonuses, they give you bonuses every round, they give you bonuses in the game, they let you move up on the different tracks, and they let you move around into the, I don't know, one of the different monasteries, I think they are, something like that, to get, those give you one-time bonuses and game scoring, all sorts of things as well. So it's a dice placement card drafting game, which is weird, but that's what it is.
Super fun. Yes. And then on these different locations, they put these on the board where those little castles go. And then you put, if you go and beat that place, you get to have one of your handy dandy little tokens. I will show you here. Check this out. Dun, 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 dun. Put it here. Boop. That place is yours. Funny thing is, though,
it's not just yours.
It's not just mine. He can come and get it too. So you can make your own paths and you don't have to worry about someone else cutting you off. Which I kind of like, because we have a lot of those games that, I mean, even from Ticket to Ride on, right? That always cut off your paths. And that's another thing I like about this game. You can keep going and you still get the benefits off of this place and being here and making your paths. Because it's important to make certain paths to certain places. There's certain goals that you get for going to a certain number of places and all sorts of stuff. So you want to be able to get where you're going. And it's nice to not be blocked. let me tell you, that's refreshing. So, what else? We have our little player mats that help you keep track of things and stuff for your shieldy goodness and your money. To keep track of that, you've got a nice little sliding scale. It helps you. I like this too. Once you learn the rules of the game, your player mat kind of guides you through the round and stuff through the bottom, which is, again, something else that's really refreshing. I like boards that explain as they go. What else? I'm trying to point out all the fun little goodies. Let's see. Hunter and I were... I got screwed up on those. The end game scoring, there's a variety of things, but most of them have to do with, like, going to different destinations and stuff. And then what you have, like, each character card in excess of 10, you're going to get 3 victory points over and above and beyond. Some of these have special conditions. And, oh, man, I love that they got different end game conditions. Every game is going to be slightly different because of the paths that you take, the different abilities you use. Very, very cool game. It is fairly heavy. You do have a lot to learn and absorb the first time through because there's a lot going on. You've got the map thing, and I kind of neglected all of this over on the other side, depending on your dice and what you want to do. Each round, we get a set of cards and stuff that you get to select from that give you different things that you can do as well. So you're going to go through and you kind of do like this bidding thing with the numbers of dice that you have, and you go and whoever gets the best score then is going to get to first pick on these cards that are here. Oh, man. So cool. I love the drafting of these cards in this game. It's a lot of fun. So there's a lot going on. Again, I told you too, there's also the scoreboard, like the little tracks to keep track of the different tracks because those also give you victory points at the end depending on what end game conditions you get. A lot of stuff going on in this game. All right. So where would you, I know this is probably way after you built your list, right?
No.
No, wasn't it?
Played it this summer.
Oh, did we? Okay.
At the Dice Tower, Board Game Geek Cruise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's my number 27.
Yeah, so it's high up for you too.
So it's just that sweet spot, 90-minute midweight Euro game. I'm shocked it's this high on the list because you can get dice hate me in this game because if you roll a lot of low numbers, it can kind of mess with you.
You can, but I feel like there's so much going on. It's got that little bit of a puzzly thing. Ooh, do I want to focus in on my travel more, or do I want to try to like bid for more better cards? Do I want to fight that? I don't know. I felt like I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the puzzly bits.
Yeah. Anyway.
So
it's kind of a, I don't want to say generic Euro, but it
kind of
it's all. I mean, it feels familiar. So a lot of people compare this to Lorenzo.
Okay.
It gives people a similar feel. Very different games, but you are using dice to draft cards, which is what you do in Lorenzo, but very different purposes. And this one's mainly focusing on moving up those tracks and moving your pilgrim guy around. I don't know what he is, the monk or whoever you're moving around. And getting those in-game scorings, whereas Lorenzo is more of kind of an engine builder. You're building this engine of resources and machines or whatever.
Yep.
2 different games, similar feel, similar weight, similar length. So if you like Lorenzo or similar, midweight Euro games, this is one that you really should try out. I think there's ways to mitigate the dice a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
But
there are.
I mean, if you roll low, you're going to get a card. You're just getting one last pick of the card.
Well, you've got that one little thing you could put over the dice, remember, that helped you like go up or down or something. I got that a lot, and it helped me. And you brought up that, and I forgot we had that conversation after we played it the first time, is that it does feel familiar. It's like they took the parts that we like best out of worker placement and Euro games and combined them, which, again, like you said, it has that generic familiar feel to it, but the way they combined those mechanisms, the little tracks, the going around the map, the using the kind of like the bidding thing to go over there and get your cards, all of that stuff seems familiar, but it was put together in a nice, fresh way, and I really enjoy that about the game quite a bit. In fact, so much that it's my number 20. It's crazy. Crazy good. I love Coimbra.
Alrighty then.
Yes. My number 19 was my number 21. Why did it go up? I would say A, more enjoyable plays. B, pretty awesome expansions, I must say. And that is the monster, the beast, the awesomeness that is Scythe. Oh my goodness, I love this game. I didn't want to love this game Because the first time we saw it, I thought, ugh, war game, area control, not my shtick. Well, kind of area control, but not really a war game. And it's smooth. And once you learn, there's a lot to learn in this game. It's heavy. But, like, the player mat, each player, it's asymmetrical. Everyone's board's a little bit different. Your engine building is slightly different. It's tweaked. And you're focused on that board. And you're trying to get your engine going and to accomplish the different things that you want to get your victory points for the game. You may go about it in a slightly different way than your opponent. You may not need to do much in the way of attacking anyone at all, except for getting that one victory point. I think one of the accomplishments you have to get is to attack somebody and win or whatever. But you could feasibly avoid that one and do some of the others. It's just amazing to me, all the different options and varieties. The expansions for this have been good. We've enjoyed those immensely. It's just a solid, solid game. Getting to the point, though, now, where I don't know how... Don't we even know... I don't think we have everything fit in here anymore, do we? I think we have...
Everything's in there, but...
Everything's in there, but... Oh, goodness. Okay, except for Rise of Fenris. I don't know how Hunter has fit everything in here. There was so much. There's so many.
I think we're going to eventually buy the big box. They have a big box. Because I don't think everything, all the goodies that are in here, which we haven't played yet.
Yeah.
I'm dying to play this, but we got to find a big, massive chunk of time to play 8 games of Scythe. So, yeah.
So good.
So I may end up getting the big box so that this will fit. Because I know there's... I mean, I don't know hardly anything about this expansion. I just know there's stuff that adds to this, like modular type things that adds to this game.
Oh, how exciting.
So, I think you can just play, instead of playing the campaign, you can just crack this open and take the modules out and add them.
Oh, my goodness.
That's
amazing.
But anyway.
Yeah, this is one of those games that the minis are amazing. The player boards are amazing. And again, it's neat because as you go and uncover certain things, you may do something, say, on the top of your board, and then you're going to take the little marker that you had there, and it's going to, once you take it off, it reveals an extra ability or perk that you get. And then you put it down on the bottom part of your board, and it helps build an engine to help you create more, or do more with what you're working on the bottom part of your player mat. I love that about the game. I love the fact, too, that there was just this unexpected, delightful little thing with the cards. The scenario cards, and if you've watched our show, I've talked about them before. I love that you're coming across this encounter, and it'll be like, you see this farmer with his herd of pigs, and then you get these great options. Do you want to help the farmer get his pigs back in the pen? Do you slaughter the farmer and eat his pigs for dinner? Or do you herd the pigs into the village and cause a bunch of chaos? It was just so out of the blue. I'm like, what is this? And you get perks or benefits, or you get notoriety or something, depending on what you do. I love it. It was such a great touch to the game, and it's so fun. It's like you almost want to just go and find all the encounters and do these silly things then because they're hilarious. It's just a really fun touch to the game. The art's pretty amazing. I love the sci-fi feel. It just, such a good game. Now, if the more players, the more it runs. This can be a long game if you have a lot of players. But it's got so much going on. I don't mind it, but you will have some downtime if you have the 6 players and more. It's pretty long game. Where is it ranked on yours again?
It's my number 3 game of all time. I love this game. This game is awesome.
So good.
If I had my druthers.
Yes.
If I had my druthers. Yeah, I got to throw these big words out occasionally. If I had my druthers, we would have, as soon as I bought Rise of Fenris, we would have sat down and played 8 games of this. But 2 things. I don't know if I want to play Rise of Fenris, the campaign, 2-player. And I don't know how we're going to get together a group of people to play Scythe 8 times. So I may end up having to break down and make it either 2-player, or we just don't play the campaign and pull the modules out, which would make me super, super sad. But anyway, one of my favorite games of all time for many, many reasons, all the things she said. I like the variable player abilities. I like the different ways to win the game. You're given the options of scoring. You have to get a certain number of points, but you can get the points in many, many different ways. The in-game scoring's interesting. I like the combat. I like the deterministic combat where you use the cards and bid on how much power you want to use.
The combat is pretty cool.
It's just a one-shot boom,
Not
see what
drawn out.
happens and it's over. I think I'm really the days of me loving the rolling dice over and over and over again for combat. I think those are kind of past. I really like the Blood Rage side where you just Lords of Hellas, the games like this that have you do one quick thing and the combat's over.
Yeah,
I like that. I think that's it takes the flow that keeps the game flowing.
Yep.
That's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't have this. All right, we're gonna fight.
Now
let's roll dice for 10 minutes to see who wins the fight.
It's almost like a separate part of the game. It's not even the game. It just I don't like that anymore.
I like the where when you upgrade skills, it makes another skill cheaper. So many great things I can say about this game. I love the expansions. I love the airships. I love the new factions. I love it with lots of players. I love it 2-player.
Yeah.
We can decide whether when we play 2-player, we can decide, okay, do we want to have a non-attacking game? So we'll put our factions on the opposite side of the board from each other, so we won't attack much until the very end of the game for the most part. Or do we want to fight it out and have a crazy game? We put factions right next to each other, and we're going to butt heads pretty quick, or can butt heads pretty quick. Just a really amazing game. Amazing game.
Solid game. I
love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Yep. If I had more time in the world, we'd be playing this all the time, yeah.
Well, we're going to play it 8 times at some point.
That's right. We're going to be playing it a lot.
Just leave it set up at the end of the table.
I like this. I'm not going to argue with that. All right. My number 18 is brand new to the list.
What?
And as soon as we played it, I was just like, yes, more please. This game. I love it. You know why? First of all, Michael Crichton is one of my favorite authors. Okay? And he wrote a very awesome book called Jurassic Park. And this is as close to Jurassic Park the game as you're ever going to get, people. Dinosaur Island. Oh my goodness. So, you've got these adorable pink dinosaurs. And you're building this park. You must keep the park safe, because if the park is not safe, then the dinosaurs are going to run crazy wild and eat people at your park. But watch out too, because there are those nasty hooligans that are sneaking into your park. They're hooligans. They're actually termed hooligans. I did not make up that. They are running into your park for free, not paying. And of course, if the dinosaurs are attacking, they're already sneaky little buggers. And so they escape and they don't get eaten. Of course, your paying customers get eaten. Life is not fair. It's so much fun. You're manipulating DNA to try to create more dinosaurs. Oh my gosh, this game is so much fun. I love this game. And look at the colors. Okay, lime green sack, win. Okay, I'm not a pink fan, but these are insanely pink, very pink dinosaurs. Of which there's like 12, 16 different little dinosaurs in here.
If you have the extreme edition.
Yeah, we're extreme, baby. We're totally liquid. So, look at this. Pteranodon. Greatness.
Pterodactyl.
Pteranodon. And then, is this the Parasaurolophus? I wish I had Nessa with me. She was my dinosaur expert.
Yes.
So you got the Parasaurolophus. We've got our Stegosaurus. We've got a Triceratops. Look at these. Oh, they're awesome. We've got, this could be any generic Apatosaurus, one of the land monster beasts, okay? We got, this is either the T-Rex or Allosaurus.
They have a for each one. They have
Yeah,
ones.
we got a Spinosaurus. Look at this! They have a Spinosaurus! This is the best thing ever. We got Ankylosaurus. I could keep going. I think there's a couple others that I'm missing. But anyway, ridiculous amounts of adorable, sneaky little... Oh yeah, there's Velociraptor in there and stuff too. So, and then you've got crazy, wild... Okay, already a winner. We've got orange colors. We've got green colors. You know, those are our 2 favorite colors. So this game already wins on so many levels. Look at the dice for the DNA. Check this out. They're huge. They're amber colored. Get it? DNA found in amber. Oh, these people are punny. I like them. Oh, they're so sneaky. And then some of the stuff in this. Again, this is the extremeness. This is your fast pass, people. Oops, I kind of threw it too far down my wrist. But you can, it's a slap bracelet. Ah, that's so hilarious. Okay, anyway. And then on the other side of it, you got pictures of dinosaurs. Everything, all the little touches are just hysterical. I love this. So then you've got different companies, okay? And again, asymmetrical. This is Gilcorp, okay? The Compassionate Corporation. That remains to be seen. But You've got all your different DNA tracks that helps you keep track of how many of each kind of DNA you have. You've got these tool benches and venture capitals, how you get different things that and then you can ramp these up and get extra benefits. You've got these under construction things. You can get more tabs that create better engine building stuff. Different ways to refine the DNA. You got a place to go to create dinosaurs. And here are the two probably most important tracks right here. You've got your safety, the threat level, and you've got your security. So your dinosaurs, as you make some, now you make a nice happy Apatosaurus, not very threatening. They like to eat plants. They're just big. Okay, they might be like one threat. You get an like T-Rex, 4 threat or some craziness, right? So all of a sudden your security's here and your threat's like here. Uh-oh, you got problems. So the balance in the game comes in where you have to like manipulate a bunch of stuff, get more security going, build those fences. Oh my gosh. And then, as if that wasn't cool enough, then you've got all the little park perks, like the Lemonadosaurus stand. Yeah, they went there. It's wonderful. It's a theme park, people, so you gotta have all these different attractions. It's not just about the dinosaurs, it's about making money and stuff. So you have a wooden coaster. Ooh, there's a hyper coaster. Balloons. I'm sure they make them in dinosaur shapes. A photo booth. A Giga coaster. That's pretty nice. And Dinosaur Fryland. You can get fast food. Yeah, it's really corny and cheesy. I love every bit of this game. Love it. It's so much fun. And so it's just, you know what, you ever play, back in the day they had those Sims, like the Sim Zoo and all those and stuff, and you could create them, and I get that vibe when I'm playing this. This is like those Sim games, except now you're doing it with Jurassic Park style. Absolutely love this game. We will buy all the things associated with the game. All the things. Because I love all the things about this game. They did such a thorough job of making it punny and goofy. Oh, that's right. We have this on our shelf of, I shall call it opportunity.
Shelf of shame.
Shelf of opportunity. Totally Liquid. And if you haven't heard me before, that's totally going to be the new, like, awesome radical dude. If something's cool, it's Totally Liquid. Right? Right?
No.
Yes, Totally Liquid.
No.
This game, Totally Liquid. You need to play Dinosaur Island. Oh my goodness. Now, it is fairly heavy. Just to give you a heads up, there's a lot to go on. As you can see, I was talking about all these different bits and all these different things you have to keep in balance. There's checks and balances in the game. There's a lot to think about. But once you get going and the turns are really smooth, you do this, you do that, you do that, up, reset, round starts over. I love that about this. The simplicity. Simplicity with the rules, complexity with all of the different choices and options. That, to me, is an awesome game. And that is the Totally Liquid Dinosaur Island. I could seriously talk about this for a while. From just opening the box, I knew I was going to love this game before we even started playing. And as we started playing it, I was just like, wow, I love this game more and more and more. It's greatness. Yes?
Nothing.
That's right.
So it's my 53. It's a good game, but man, she is on a whole different level.
What?
You gotta look at the camera when you do that.
What is wrong with you? 53? Oi.
It's good. It's a really good game. It's a solid game. It's just,
I think he's had a concussion or something.
Maybe a little too long.
Beginning to worry.
I don't know.
Did you? What? Oh.
It's good. It's good. It's a great game. But, man, she's...
I love that game.
She's good.
I love that game.
All right, what's next?
Fine. All
See
right.
if you can do better.
This one's skyrocketed. I know you love this game. This one's my 17. It used to be 32. But once again... And I can tell you without a doubt, this is my most played game. Probably. I think Tumbling Dice may beat it. But I've had over 60 plays of this game. And it keeps getting better and better. I have taught it to people that have never played board games before. I played it with gamers. Played it with family. And every single time this has been popular. I have students that like cannot wait for finals. Yes, you heard that right. Because after finals, I let them play this game. This game is Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. Oh my goodness, this game just... You would think by now I'd be sick of playing this game. Especially since I have to teach it. And you know, I'm not usually a super big fan of teaching a game. But... as I know what the reaction's always going to be, it just is so much fun to teach it because everyone lights up and the discussions that this game brings about is fantastic, hilarious, you name it. So, This is a social deduction game, and in front of you, you're going to have placed 4 murder weapon cards, and then also 4 cards that are just items that were left at the scene of the crime. And there's different roles. There's the murderer, and there's the accomplice, and there's a witness, and if you do the expansion, there's more. It gets a little trickier. But what happens is you've got 3 rounds, and there's a forensic scientist, and as a forensic scientist, you get to give clues. You can't talk to anyone, but you'll have these tiles that'll be like, location of the murder, and it'll give you a whole bunch of different locations. You get to help guide the conversations that are going on around the table by putting down little bullet points for them to figure out, okay, ooh, they said school, so it's probably not this and that, but it might be blah, 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 you know. The clues can be toward the items left at the scene or the murder weapons. That's for them to figure out and for the forensic scientists to decide. Again, they're guiding the conversation. Everyone gets this one chip that is their one vote, so they get to make one solid accusation. They have to be completely correct. If they are correct, the murderers get one chance to try to pop off the witness, and that's the only way they can win the game. Or if no one guesses it in time, then the murderers also can get away with it. It's super fun. Every time there have been hilarious discussions. We've discovered things like, I still laugh every time thinking, because we played with Dan King and Sam and Z, and Dan King said something about putting a calendar in the bathroom, and we were just laughing our heads off about just stuff like that. And some of my students have brought up hilarious discussions about whether or not you're suffocating by certain, like, poisonous things, and, like... It's just, then you're like, wait a minute, is that... I mean, you get into some science discussions sometimes. I love this game. And... I really can't say more than that. There is a timer. We don't tend to use it unless people get long-winded. Usually by the time everybody's kind of said their piece, we're ready to move on. I love this game. Love, love, love it. So
yeah, so I finally just threw in the towel and said this game's amazing. So I was kind of just, I rated it in the 20s, 30s before, and then this time around I rated it number 9 because it just works.
It does.
Every single time, without fail, it works.
Yeah.
I pulled this out at several conventions, especially ones that she wasn't at. Mm-hmm. I would just say, we have a handful of people just hanging out, and like, what do we play? I'm like, this one, put it down. And by the time I'm done, it's been played 6, 7, 8 times.
You never can play it once.
Everyone wants to be the forensic scientist. Everyone wants to take a shot at being the murderer. Mm-hmm. And you just keep playing and playing and playing. I actually, one time I played at the convention, I just handed it off and got up and walked away, and they were still playing it. They were still doing more and more rounds of it.
That. Yeah.
It always works. It works, like I said, it works with new gamers, heavy gamers. It's a social deduction. I love a social deduction game. It really just the game revolves around, okay, let's figure out who the murderer is or who the bad guy is, and that's the whole game, right? We got to figure out who the bad guys are. This one's got a meaty game that's built around these roles that it promotes interaction, and that's one thing I love. And so a lot of social deduction games, people just kind of stay quiet and try to stay under the radar. This one, everyone's out there just talking and arguing back and forth and trying to rationalize the clues. And sometimes the forensic scientists get some weird clues and they're just out of luck, and it's hilarious. Sometimes they get the solid clues that points right at the murderer. It's just a fun, interactive. Mm-hmm. This is almost borderline party game, social deduction party game. It really,
because you can get anybody to play this.
It works in so many different levels. It works. You can play with 5 players. I don't know if I've ever played it 4, but it plays 4 to a bazillion players.
I would start with at least 6. I've played it with the lower counts, and it's not nearly as good. It's a more the merrier kind of game.
Yeah, but I mean,
you can play it up to 14.
Well, I was going to say, you can, even in a big group, if you can have a big enough table that everyone can get around, you can play. It plays well up into the low teens.
14s. 14
it's just a solid game. It works.
Well, and in my classroom, we don't have a lot of room like that, so we'll put the desks together, and we get up, and we'll walk around each round and look at everybody's cards, because you can't see.
Right.
It's not easy to do that, and we've made it work, and everybody can see everything that way, and it's fine. And it's just, as long as you know who's, got which set of 4 cards, as long as you got enough room to put those there for each person, you're fine. I love this game. And it's fast. I think it says 15 to 30 minutes. With my students, because I let them talk about it, it tends to go about 20, 25 minutes.
It also depends
But-
on how quickly you're able to pinpoint the right
Oh yeah,
stuff, right?
and that's another thing too, because sometimes the forensic scientist is going to get some spot on clues, and you guys are like, "Oh yeah, it's definitely you," and this and that. And other times it's really hard, or there may be a lot of similar cards on the table. With the expansion here, the Undercover Allies expansion, oh my gosh, it adds a whole bunch of international cards, which are hysterical. They can be or cannot be easier to like eliminate, or it just depends again on what cards come up. I've of course shuffled all of them together. They're all completely mixed up now.
Right.
But just oh wow, I have not had as much opportunity. I think I've played with the extra characters only a couple times because I'm usually introducing this to new players. I do like the extra twist that the extra characters do bring to the game, but I would not introduce those unless you have experienced players that have all played the game several times, because they have to do some kind of tricky things. But you always want to have enough players to do the murderer and the accomplice and the witness. I think that's why I say at least 6-7 players to make this a super solid game. And again, the more the merrier. It's so much fun when you get up to the 10, 12, 14 players. Oh my gosh, just the conversations are hysterical.
Yep.
So you can't get much better if you're looking for a social deduction game that doesn't put too much pressure. If you're a more introverted person too, it might be a little bit stressful to be the murderer for you. But other than that, I've only had one student sort of get stressed out, and it was mostly because she'd never ever played anything like this, and she ended up getting to be a murderer right off the bat, and that was the only time. Everyone else has had a really smooth play with that. So I mean, anybody, social deduction games sometimes will put you out there where you have to get interviewed or have to put on a face or a front.
Right. Do lots of lying.
Do a lot of lying. Well, in this, the accomplice kind of takes that weight off of it for you, so you don't have to say anything.
Well,
you really don't. You kind of defend your points, but
kind of misdirect. I mean,
yeah.
You're not really flat out lying. Say, hey, look over here or look over
there.
And
so it doesn't have that, because that's something that's probably my only stressor with Spyfall. If you're put on the spot, you're really put on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, they look right at you. Everyone's looking right at you.
Yeah.
You're the spy, and they're asking you a question.
This game, everybody's kind of talking at the same time, so it takes that away, and I really love that. So, hence, that's why it's so high up. It's my number 17.
Should be higher.
Whew. Wait till you see what's above it.
Oh,
you'll be like, okay, I understand. For example. Oh, this is a kind of a big drop, but we played it again. I don't know. It may float back up. This is my number 16, and it was my number 7. It's dropped a little bit. I know, what? But it's solid. It's heavy.
We just played it.
We just played it again, but again, that was like a month after I built my list. Xia, Legends of a Drift System. Remember how I was ranting about how awesome the open sandbox game was with Merchants and Marauders? This is a space sandbox game. Seriously, people, could you get any cooler? Not really. It comes with individualized, pre-painted miniature ships. Whole fleets of them. There's 3 different levels of ships. Oh my gosh. They're gorgeous. They're awesome. They're all unique. They all have their unique abilities, and they have their own sizes and shapes that you can Tetris in all the different weapons and shields and cargo space, all that stuff. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You explore and build the universe as you go. I recommend exploring before you just leap in, because yes, you can leap into Xia, the big giant star. That's also kind of funny. It's not the end of the world if you destroy your ship, though, because you kind of just, it's almost video game-esque. You boop, you get a new ship, you kind of start over with a little bit of damage. It's not like the end of the world.
With the new expansion.
Yes. Now, that is one thing I will say. The original game is pretty awesome if you play 3 or more players, but we're 2-player kind of people. The expansion for this is amazing. It smooths out some of the things that were kind of in the game. It makes it 2-player, and a smooth, fun 2-player at that. Oh my goodness. All of the different extra little ships. You've got these little automated, like there's a cop ship, there's a little merchant ship that you can go and plunder and pillage if you're feeling piratey. And there's also this bad guy rogue that pops out of a planet, attacks people, and then like quickly runs back and hides in the planet area. It's hilarious. It's like one of those little trap animals that you see in like the desert or something. Gets something and runs. You get to pick and choose these things. And then the victory points are really more like fame points. You become more famous and you get these accomplishments and things as you go along the board. Another thing I really like about this, because you can make this game last forever, or you can shorten it by how many victory points you want to go to. You want a really, really short game? Go to 10 or 12 victory points. You want to make an average-ish game, 15 to 20? You can go longer and make a truly epic game and get a lot of things done. One other thing that the expansion does that's really cool, it brings an economy to the goods that you're trading back and forth. So in the original game, a merchant, and I am totally guilty of this because I took advantage of it, sometimes you'll get on the map a really close planet that's buying a certain good, and then next door is the planet that, hey, would happen to like to, you know, buy up that good that you just bought. So you're like bouncing back and forth, and you can win the game pretty quickly. Well, they made an economy now so that once you do that, there's a flux in the system and there's a supply and demand going on. So you could wear that out and then you're going to have to go find another type of good to go trading off somewhere else. There's comets that are flying around to blow you up, asteroid fields, pirates, you name it, it's there. It's amazing. Warping. I think I've almost exhausted everything. I love this game. There's so much you can do in it. So
it's my number 6. I love this game. It's my favorite of all the sandboxy games. Mm-hmm. I assume it's probably your favorite of all the sandboxy games.
It is.
It's just, I love games where it's like I said in the last video with merchants and marauders, it just says this is what you can do.
Yeah.
You decide what to do. You can be a merchant. You can be a pirate. You can just explore. You can get points through exploration. You can do quests or whatever they call them. They call them missions. Yep. You can do missions. You can do all sorts of things. There's occasionally, as people score points on the score track, it releases these goals. They're called I forgot what they're called. They're like special goals. Like if you do this really cool thing, you become famous, and it gives you fame points.
And you get a title.
Like, I think the last game we played, I won because I traveled to, like, 4 different types of regions all in the same
one turn.
So I went to, like, an asteroid field and a nebula and a planet and something else all in one turn. And that's what ended up winning me the game. I basically just I completely stripped my ship down, got all these engines, and just flew to win the game. And that's how I became famous enough to become the person that won. This game is just awesome. You can fight each other. Like she said, when you die, it's not like the end of the world. And with the expansion, you come back with a little bit of damage on your next turn. Basically, your turn ends. You start your next turn with a little bit of damage. In the other game, depending on your size of a ship, you lose turns, which is very, very, very punitive. So that's why they kind of fixed that in the expansion. So if you do play this game, I would say buy the base game, try it out once. If you fall in love with it, you must get it's a must-buy expansion.
This is one of the few games where I'd say the expansion really makes a huge difference with it. Especially if you like to play 2-player. I can't emphasize that enough. It fixes all the broken things for 2-player.
Yeah, the designer really took a lot of feedback from the players of the game, and he went step by step, rule by rule, and completely rebuilt the game. Not completely rebuilt, but kind of put band-aids and fixes on everything that was a problem in the game was solved with the expansion.
Yeah, it's so awesome.
It's just
they did a fantastic
awesome
job.
Game. Mm-hmm. I can't say enough about it.
Yep.
I think if I had more opportunities to play it, it would probably move up my list. Even though it's 6, it could potentially go up because it's that good.
It's that fun. Oh, and I didn't even mention it's got metal coins in it too.
Yeah.
And they're cool. They're like triangular shaped, spacey looking.
I cannot believe it. As much as you open boxes, you haven't opened this one.
I know, but I know that this one also has very, very meticulously put in pieces that I'm not sure I could put back. I'm like scared to
I'll
open.
help you out.
You gonna do it?
Show a little bit of stuff off.
I got it. Yeah, I'd like to show you because it's so amazing. All right, so we have an insert for this that's very picky.
So you want these ships?
I just was going to do a ship. So, again, the insert also is
like
insane. You got it? Okay.
Yeah, it was like...
I was going to...
Well...
I say, yeah, you gotta flip it up.
Well, I gotta get...
These are the level 3 ships. So these are some of the big ships. And I'm gonna bring this up so you can see it, because these are so cool. Look at those. Aren't they neat? These are the level 3s. These are the big beasties. Pre-painted. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Beautiful ships. Beautiful, deadly ships.
We probably can get to your coins if you lift this.
It's this one, right? Haha! Look at you. So inside here, listen to that lovely, you hear that metallic chink, chink, chink. I'll show you the coins here too. A couple different denominations.
And these are standard with the game.
These come with the game. Aren't they cool, guys? Look at those. Listen to that sound. You can't get much cooler than that.
That was probably really loud. You're right next to the mic.
Buy the game. It was the siren song of Zaya. Yes. So again, all these little colorful bits. See, these are the different colors of the resources that you can get. Again, ships, more ships. And it's cool because each of the ships has like a little kind of, I don't want to say backstory, but a little bit of extra information about them on one side, and the other side has their stats. And then you've got the map pieces. There's so much stuff going on here. And here's the board tiles. So you can see they're good size. And this one here, this is Kemplar 2. And each planet's got its own little border. This one happens to be a good guy planet. So if you have any notoriety and you're infamous and you've done bad things, you cannot go here. So it's kind of fun to see all the different unique things going on with this game. The cards are cool. I love just so much about this game. As you can tell, because I've been ranting. Oh, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. There we go. And that's the Beautimus Saya. It's very beautiful. All right, very heavy game. Woof.
Well, we have the Meeple Realty insert, which is amazing.
Yeah, the Meeple Realty insert does make a huge difference. So if you really love the game and you want to get involved with that, get
and
that.
it holds the expansion and the base game, both the Meeple Realty insert.
That's good to know too. All right, my number 15 is new to this, and this is another heavy sci-fi board game. Brand new. Oh my gosh, I love this game. Gaia Project. This is heavy. This is worker placement, goodness. And you are, several things going on with this. You're going to be building up your little places in the galaxy. You're going to go and colonize these planets or terraform them to build them into a habitable planet for you, depending on your type, which, again, asymmetrical players love that about this game. So some planet types are easier for you than might be for the other player because they're different races. You've got this magnificent tech tree thing going on that as you climb up it gives you certain benefits, and you may want to focus in on certain things like making terraforming cheaper, getting those planets down cheaper, or you might want to work on something that, you know,
movement
gets you, yeah, definitely more movement so you can actually get to other places, because that's something that's very tough to do. There's just, there's so much goodness. I have to open this box up too. And I could play this one all the time as well. And this has so much stuff. Holy cow. Oh no, it's not sealed. It's got cute little buildings. So you've got different buildings that you upgrade and put in on your planet as you put on the planets. And you get a certain number of points as you kind of network together and build a federation out of multiple planets with multiple buildings and stuff, because each one gives you points. The different buildings give you different things as well. And let's see, there's so much to show you. Let me show you what we've got here. So these are the different tiles that you'll have laid out. Again, unique games each time as you're putting these together. Different types of planets. The different colors designate the different types of planets that you can either terraform for cheap or you can instantly get on. Let me find my player board here. This is the Geodens player board. And what's cool is on the back side, there's another race, so you can look and choose from the two different sides. It's got a mechanism in it, Terra Mystica had that has the different little pips, and then you move them to the areas, kind of level them up, and then once they get to level 3, you can spend them to do different things, one of which also has to do with the terraforming stuff. And then you've got all these different things. I put the buildings down, my different buildings in these areas, and then once you build a building, it uncovers this, and then each turn where there's a little hand like this, that means you're going to get those. You're going to get a 3 income, for example, when I build this little mine building. Okay, so every turn. So you're building up your engine as you build these things. But also, you have to watch out because you're going to have to upgrade, and as you upgrade, you're going to put that building back, but you're getting new benefits over here from that building that you've built. It's really cool balance. You got to make your decisions. There's also round goals. So there's things like build a certain number of mining things and you get extra money or some kind of benefit or victory points for building those that round, well, you may want to instead change your mind. Instead of upgrading stuff, you may just want to build a whole slew of these to get those extra short-term goals, right? Choices. Each map, again, right here is going to tell you your terraforming abilities. This guy in particular, the yellow and the red planets are dirt cheap for him, and he's got to work really hard to get the white and black ones. On this side, let's see, he's basically the same, but there's, again, it's different for other races. These two must have similar abilities. It's pretty cool. There's different things that you can do. There's these green cubes, and I forget it has a funky name. Do you remember the name of the little cube thing?
No. The Q, it's like a acronym.
Yeah, and it's like a magical thing. You can use it to kind of break the game a little bit and do something that you normally wouldn't be able to do with it, but they're kind of hard to get. So you're building all these things up, and it's a tight engine. It seems like just when you want to get your tech trees and everything built up, you know, someone either beats you to all the cool bonuses at the top, or the game ends. It's just, oh, it's tight. You have to choose what you want to streamline. Love this game. So much fun. It's heavy. This is a pretty heavy game. There's a lot to learn in this game. This is not one you're just gonna pop in and pick up. But
yeah, you like this one a lot more than I do. It's not surprising. I mean, it's a space game. Space Euro game. I mean, that's like it was written for you.
Right.
It's my 36.
That's still really high up.
Which is high up. But, I don't know. I guess a couple of things that lowered on my list. I mean, I love the game. The game's amazing. But,
yeah.
Always it seems like that little engine of the mana or whatever, I don't know what they call it in this game, but the energy or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Always seems like it's so much a part of the game. It seems like it's almost too important to me. Had to get that flow going. Every once in a while you'll stall out and it just...
You know what, though? I don't remember what I did. I'll have to look and think about it when I go back, but I didn't focus on those as much this last game I played.
Yeah, but it powers everything.
It does power a lot of things, but I gotta remember what I did. It wasn't nearly the problem.
But I mean, it's cool. It's got, like you said, it has those
cool.
round goals. It has in-game goals. It has those different tech tracks. Mm-hmm. We haven't played a full game of Terra Mystica. We played a demo of it, and that one just did not. It was like whatever. This one, for whatever reason, if you want to call it theme, but the theme comes stronger because I like the tech trees. I love games that have tech trees.
The stuff they changed made it better.
It seems like they're... When I play this game, it's like I want to blow things up. Every time I do it, I'm like, I want to go over and blow up our planet or do something, and it just
interesting.
Anytime I play a space game, that's what I want to do. I want the attacky. I want some dice. I want something going on. And this is just a Euro game in space. There's not any attacking. The only way really you interact with other players is by stealing planets they potentially want. I guess that's the reason why it's not. There's a reason why. I guess it's the reason why it isn't higher. I mean, it's a really solid Euro game. It's really great. The Federation thing is a little bit fiddly.
A little bit, yeah.
But I just want I want weapons and ships, and I want to fight, and I want to fly through space, and this has none of that stuff. But I love it. It's a great game.
Would it help if I had some little ships off to the side? You could flip.
That's true. I could just grab some ships and just fly around on the board occasionally when it isn't my turn.
Make you feel better.
Yeah, it would make me feel better.
Okay. That's hilarious. All right. Gaia Project's amazing. You know what else is amazing? My number 14. It dropped a tiny bit. It was number 11. But I love me some Orleans.
What number is it?
This is my 14.
It's a true crossover! Whee!
What? This is 14 as well?
Yes. Our first true crossover. I think we had one last year, if I remember correctly.
That's crazy.
I think this is our first true crossover.
Wow. Okay, well that tells you it's solidly a number 14
I suspect we'll have
game.
more true crossovers. But
I suspect we may not.
I think we will. Maybe not. We'll see.
This is what they call a bag building game. So what you have is these little dudes. And they're different colors, and they do different things. So you have like a fisherman guy, and a little monk guy, and a little knight guy, and these different things. And when you use them, you put them in a bag. And then you have to pull out, depending on your abilities at the time and what level you're at, pull out a couple of them. And that's going to be your turn. You're going to take and select actions based off of what you have. And the different things on the board are going to say, well, I need a knight and a monk to do this action. So you're going to take those things. It depends on what you pull, if you're going to be able to do those. So you're kind of building up your engine as you go. But at the end of the game, at the end of the round, you dump everybody back and you start all over. So you want to build up your bag to the point where you're hopefully pulling out the people that you need to be able to do these things, to build your engine, to keep doing this, to build up, because there's different tracks. Let me show you. So first of all, yay, they're not felt, so they don't make you go ah when you touch them, which is kind of nice.
They're close. They're borderline.
They're borderline to you. I don't mind these. I don't mind these. So here's the tiles. You probably can't see them. They're in the plastic. They're there is a deluxe version of this that's supposedly, well, not supposedly, I've seen it.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
But these work. Let me get to the board. Let me get to the board. Maybe.
Those are player boards.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I know I'm breaking it. I'm breaking it. It's okay. I'll just dump it all.
Oh my goodness. What just happened?
I like to break stuff. Alright, so here's the board. You'll see it's kind of a two-parter. Not a huge board. I'm a fan. So, here's our map. This is kind of secondary, depending on your strategy for the game. But over here, you've got all these different tracks. Now, the different tracks are based off of the different people. Again, it's color-coded, color-related. So here's the night track, for example. And as you do things, you move along the track. This little blue guy with the, he is probably a sailor. He's got a sextant there.
Navigator or something.
Yeah. And as you go here, you're going to get 2 coins. You go here, you get 3 coins. You get more things. You make it all the way to the end of the track, you get an extra dude. Very important. Those extra dudes are victory points because you have a multiplier. They have kind of a weird way of scoring the end of the game, so you want these little multiplier guys. And then you've also got your score down here at the bottom. This is your main scoreboard, and if you get, as you get to certain places here, you can get different little perks. These are multipliers. These are extra coins. So you want to get down here. There's different books and things. All of these things do different things and help you get different actions. To, again, main goal, work on bumping up those points and multipliers. Here are some of the resources. Another way to get those resources is to go over here on the map. You'll be placing those all over here, and as you explore all these different areas, you're going to get more of these resources. There's events throughout the game. Sometimes they're going to require, they'll say like, it's a famine and we need food, so you're going to have to pay some food. You don't have the food, that's bad. You're going to probably lose victory points or something very bad during the game. Lots of detriment. So there's all this engine building going on. Meanwhile, you're trying to build your bag with all these different guys, trying to build this up. And the player mat is where all the actions are that you select. And here is the player mat. I love this game. Okay, so here you go. This is where you put your guys for the beginning of the turn. You can get up to, what is it, 8, I believe? Yeah, 8 for a turn, and then all these different things. Like here, you can have 2 things to get a little white farmhouse token for the next time. All these different things. If you want to travel, you can travel by land. As you saw in there, there's some land and sea things, different ways to travel. You can build a little guild hall building on that map. Gives you extra benefits. All these different things, you get different people. And then there's this town hall thing, which is another board I'm not going to get out. We jokingly call it the place where the heroes go to die because you can't pull them back into the game. They permanently leave the game to go take a seat on this town hall that gives you some endgame scoring or major victory points. Something pretty important is on there. It's kind of like a set. Oh, did you find it?
Found one of them. I don't know which one's the trade intrigue one.
Yeah, one's one with the expansion, one's the regular one. This one looks like the expansion one.
No.
Actually.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
No, that's the basic one.
Is it?
Yep.
That looks busy. But once you collect all these...
that's the basic one.
You can go like here, put a guy here, you get 3 coins. That's pretty powerful. You fill out the last one, you get an extra dude, which is a multiplier. That's crazy powerful. So you want to be careful as you're putting these. You want to not quite fill it up because the next person could just come along, fill it up, and get the end like benefit from it and get the extra dude or whatever. I love it. There's so much going on in the game. It's a lot of learning up front, but it plays really smoothly. I would put this as a medium to maybe heavyweight, but again, once you've played it, you can pop right back in and play it again. It's really smooth and intuitive on how the game plays. Super fun. I love bag building. Orléans. The expansion's pretty fun. I do recommend it. If you enjoy the game and play it a lot, it adds a little bit of extra spice and variability to the game. It adds some more buildings that you can go to that give you different abilities.
We don't have the one that's a co-op expansion.
Yeah, we're not interested in that.
We don't have that one. We have trade and intrigue. We played the trade, but not the intrigue.
Intrigue, yes. So, again, it's one of those, you don't need the expansions to enjoy the game. The base game is fantastic.
We didn't buy an expansion for ages.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, we never bought the first expansion.
No. It's so much fun. Such a good game.
So it's my number 14, like I said, same as her.
Mm-hmm.
This is my curiosity. It was my 14 last year, my 14 the year before that.
Are you serious?
It's always been 14, ever since we first played it.
How
So
in
it's
the world?
rock solid and stayed in the same spot. Don't ask me how. But yeah, it's a great mid to heavyweight Euro. It's got that 90-minute sweet spot. Plays excellent 2-player.
Yes. Wonderful.
I can't say more about it. It's awesome. It's an awesome game. If you like Euro games and you haven't played Orleans, then you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yes. All right, so my number 13 was number 15 last year, so it's bouncing around a little bit, and that just comes with probably more plays and more fun. I know you're all shocked that it's another space game, and that is the beauty that is Core Worlds. There's nothing incredibly what would I say? There's nothing in here that probably wows most people. It's a deck builder game. And it's sci-fi, but the way they did it, it's such a smooth game, and I really love a straightforward deck builder. Love this game. The art's gorgeous. If you like sci-fi stuff, so good. But you're going through and you're building up your deck. You need to build up and keep the core worlds, which are the big worlds at the very last round of the game that you're trying to save up for. Keep those in mind because it's really hard to get those. That you need to have a certain amount of ground troops or air spaceships or a combination of both. So you want to build up your deck accordingly with those goals in mind. And as you're doing that, you're getting smaller planets along the way to also bolster all of this. And you're building up this engine and getting going, aiming for those core worlds. Oh, such a good game. Such a good game. I absolutely love it. Again, the art on this is phenomenal. The expansions, I don't even know. I'll be honest. We got this with a bunch of expansions in it. I'm not sure which cards are expansion cards and which are the regular ones, but I must say I like all the things. I think we play with everything, don't we?
We play with almost everything. I think we leave out one thing. I can't recall what it is.
Yeah,
we leave out one thing when we play.
So
for the most part, we play with everything.
Yeah, we got this at one of those flea market sales, and it came with everything all kind of put together in there, and we've kept it that way because we loved it so much. Oh, such a good game. I love deck builders so much. And if you enjoy deck building, I think you'll like this too. It's another smooth... It's got the standard, draw a certain number of cards, play this out. Same format as most deck builders. And just the space theme and going after the planets and planning ahead for that end game. I really enjoy that. So, I love this game so much. Yep. End of story.
So she loves it more than I do, but it's on my list. It's number 32.
Oh, wow. It's still high
bounced
for you.
around that area since we first got it. We've had this for years. If you don't count Great Western Trail as a deck builder, which it really is kind of borderline deck builder. It's more of hand building. Deck building. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's if you don't consider that a true deck builder, this is my favorite true deck building game.
Wow.
I like it because it's just, like you said, it's smooth. It plays fairly quickly. We can throw in all the expansions, and it doesn't trick up the game that much. You can go many, like I said, the whole thing is to build up for those core worlds. I mean, you're doing a lot of stuff and getting a lot of points along the way, but getting the core worlds at the end are very important. You have to kind of pay attention to what everyone else is building up. She's concentrating on air. Odds are she's probably gonna go for the big one. That's hard. You need a ton of air forces to defeat. So I may want to switch gears, or maybe I want to snipe it away from her and kind of throw a wrench into her plans by grabbing up that core world earlier. Just a really solid game.
It plays awesome 2-player too. It's another one of those that we enjoy playing 2-player.
We played it 2 and 3-player.
Have we played it 4-player too? I thought.
I think we did play it 4-player
I think we
once.
played it 4-player too.
But I prefer it 2-player because the turns are boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
It goes really fast.
I like to get fast. With
Great game. Just really, really solid. If you love deck builders, this may be one that's kind of, I don't know if flying under the radar is the right word, but it came out 10 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a little bit older game now.
Was it 10 years ago? Well, the expansion came out 7 years ago, so I would assume the base game's even older than that.
Okay.
It's an Andrew Parks game. They're a lot of people love his games, so I just can't say more because deck building is not really my thing.
It's my
Especially deck building with no board is really not my thing.
Yeah, and this...
But this game
it's good.
is one of my favorites.
It's awesome.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yep.
It's a good one. It's solid.
There you go.
And it's still in print. For as old as it is, it's still in print.
Because it's that good. They should keep it in print forever. That's my totally unbiased opinion. All right, so that was Core Worlds. Now we're moving up to my number 12. Oh my gosh. Can you guys believe this?
It's crazy.
It is crazy. Now this one dove down a little bit. It was my number 5.
It'd be funny if it was an underwater game. You said dove down.
That would be really funny. However, it's not. It's not a water game. But it is my number 12 now, and it's just still holding strong. Super solid game. I will probably never turn down a request to play The Castles of Mad King Ludwig. I love Ludwig. This game, I don't know what it is about this, but I like the fact that you've got all these crazy shaped rooms and you're the bidding for it's actually pretty cool, and usually I'm not a huge fan of bidding, but the bidding in this is pretty fun, and you get to set the bidding if it's your turn, which is great. I love the mind game involved with that. You've got different goals overall for the game to get some extra end game scoring. You've got your own private goals that you can go for as well. You're building up these rooms that are all different shapes and sizes, and on top of that, some of them work well being next door to others, some don't. So there's like this puzzly aspect. How do I want to put all this together? Do I want to go and get some of those downstairs ones, which means you need to get a staircase that takes you down? I love this game. We don't even have any of the crazy expansions and all that stuff. This is the base game. That's right. You heard me. I don't care. I don't want to change it. I love playing castles. I just love straight up playing castles. I've played some of the other ones. They're fun, but I don't think that you can beat just straight up Castles of Mad King Ludwig. And I know I like it way more than you.
So
I'm just waiting. It's
when we first played this game, I was like, wow, this is awesome.
Because
this
it
game is amazing. It was in my top 10 3 years ago.
See?
3 years ago? 4 years
Are
ago.
you going to do that? That's so 3 years ago. Is that what this is?
Pretty much. So I am cooling on this game at a rapid pace. So it went from 8 to 29 to 73 to 99, and next year it won't be on my list.
You cut me deep, Shrek.
Because after playing this many times, many times, it's starting to feel samey.
How can you say that?
It's starting to feel samey.
You feel samey. What's up with that? Oh my goodness.
It's just every round you're doing the same thing.
Every game's like that.
There's no escalation in this game. There's no engine building in this game.
Would you like the king to come out and rave at you?
There's no getting more powerful in this game. There's no ramping up in this game. What you're doing the first round of the game, you're doing in the last round of the game. There's no different.
Oh my goodness.
Now, I know there's combos with the rooms. If you connect certain rooms, you get combos and things like that. But it doesn't like... I tend to like games more where you start out with you're beating two sticks together, and by the end of the game, you're like flying spaceships.
Dude! You start out with like a little hallway, and you end this game with this ginormous castle.
It's on my list, so I like it quite a bit, but
it's not going to be on my list next year.
It won't be on my list next year. I can guarantee it won't be on my list next year. But it just there's no growth. There's no I don't know. The games I tend to like are you get more skills, you get more powerful, you grow, you expand, you become, and this is every round you're doing the same thing. But
there is a mold room.
That said, it is a really solid, fun tile placement game.
Wow, good save there.
But it's samey.
Fighting words! No, this game is so much fun. If you like to lay tiles, if you like tile laying games, you need to try this game.
That's what I just said.
You need to try this
It's a great tile placement game.
Don't listen to the hater over there.
I am here to give my opinion.
That's so nice.
And I have given my opinion.
Old games are good games too, okay? Some things get better with age.
Some things.
Mm-hmm.
Not Ludwig.
Oh my gosh! Ludwig is awesome.
It was in my top 10 at one time.
Uh-huh. No one's listening to you anymore.
Back when we didn't know very many games.
Oh my gosh! You just keep... Oh, look, another nail in your coffin right there.
All right, bring it back home with your next one. Impress me. I want to fall out of my chair with excitement.
I don't know if you quite fall out of your chair with excitement, but I think you do like this game quite a bit, too. My number 11 was my number 6. So it started a little bit, but it's staying strong also. It's staying strong also. And I think the reason that this is slightly beating Castles of Mad King Ludwig is we fairly recently got an expansion with this that made it that much more fun. That is Istanbul. I love Istanbul. So, you get different little shops that do different things. There's like a post office, and there's a bank, and there's a gambling place, and all this different stuff. The tiles, you can do the starter game where they have you put them in a certain order, or you can go crazy and put them in all sorts of crazy orders and do whatever. And your little guy is going to travel around and accomplish different things, and you're trying to collect all these rubies, and that's like the end-all be-all thing to get in this game. But the way you move is really unique with this, and I love it. You kind of lay a trail as you go, and you have to keep track of that and like backtrack and get these things, or go to a place where you can collect them, something, or you're going to end up kind of stuck. And you can't move. It slows you down. So, and there's also the whole thing that if we land on the same tile, then one of us is going to have to pay the other like a tax or something. So you're avoiding people. You're trying to go to unique places and do these things without having to pay extra. If you're miserly, I don't like to give my money to random players because that helps them. So there's that. There's all these different unique abilities. You're going after the different resources. And what is it? You get 7 rubies?
6 or it depends on the number of players, I think.
Yeah, you win the game. And there's on almost every single one of the tiles somewhere, there's some way you can go about getting them. Some are easier to get than others. It depends on what engine kind of thing you're building up for yourself, how you want to do it. You might have a really good racket where you're going and collecting a bunch of the different like resources and getting all the pineapple and this and that and trading and getting rubies that way. Or you can go... I know Hunter one time there was a great thing between the gambling house and like the bank or something. He kept going back and forth between those and got a whole mess of rubies doing that. There's all these different combos that you'll find as you look at the layout of the board. Each time again is different, which is really fun. Oh, I love this game. And the expansion was really cool too because it added some more resources into the game and of course more little shops and stuff like that too. Oh my gosh. So much fun. I just love the fact that it's different every time. They've got the police station too with the, what do we call it? The criminal nephew or something like that. We always joke about it. You can send him out to do errands for you. The other player can go pick them up for like a small reward and they get thrown back into the police station. I mean, it's just, there's some really funny little random little quirky things like that in the game. And I love playing this game over and over because each time it's going to be different because of how you lay it out. So much fun. In fact, I'll see if I can show you some of the stuff.
So yeah, this is my number 43. So I don't like it as much as her, but I love this game. It's a great game. We got, at this point, we have all the expansions. We played, last couple of times we played the Grand Bazaar variant where you put all the tiles. I think it's a 5x5 grid of tiles. It's just a really solid Euro game. Like she said, you look for different combos and things to do. Yeah. There's just lots of different ways to win. You got to collect a certain number of rubies, and there's many different ways to collect those rubies. Just a real good game.
Yeah. So, for example, here, I'll kind of scoot up so you can see him. Like, this is the Sultan's Palace. And you'll have a little guy and you'll move along the track, but you have to donate these goods each time to move along the track. And once you get to the end, bing, bing, you get a ruby. Obviously, it's not a cheap, so you're going to have a really good engine for getting a bunch of different resources. And then there's stuff like this tea house, where all you do is you go there and you roll some dice. And depending on what you roll on the dice is what kind of things you get. So there's a little bit of a variety. Each place does something slightly different. Then there's like the your little boards and stuff that you'll have where you store these goods on your thing. And if you get a certain number, you can get extra storage so you can hold more goods. So you're able to go farther before you have to go back and get more goods. And the rubies are the cute little shiny stones like you see in all games. It's pretty standard. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy the variety. And it's another one of those games where you kind of puzzle it out. What would be the best thing for me to do? What would be the best way for me to go about that? Okay, he just stole my best idea. So what's my backup plan? You know, I love that. I just absolutely adore that about this game. So, anything else you want to add to that one?
No, it's a good one. It's a good solid. It's that another one of those sweet spots. Let's see what it says for time.
It says 40 to 60 minutes. I would say it's about an hour.
Well, I think ours is longer because we played.
We had the expansions
we played the Grand Bazaar variant, which
that's true.
Adds up a little bit of time in the game, but not too much.
Plays awesome 2-player. I love playing this 2-player.
Great game.
I like playing it with more players. It goes up to 5, I believe. And yeah, so if you're looking for a game, if you haven't played this one, this is another one of those. Oh my gosh, I love it. You can see that's kind of my, especially in this. It seems like the mid to heavyweight, mostly Euro-y things are what I'm going for in a lot of my games.
This one's not too heavy. I mean, that's
not too bad, but there's a lot. Yeah, it's
well. Again, we play with everything. Different.
Yeah, we play with everything. It gets pretty heavy. So, but that's my 20 through 11. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much I love those games. And what's crazy is there are 10 games that I love even more than these. That if I have the time, I will not turn down those games. They're just amazing, beyond amazing. So you have to stay tuned with us to see the top of the best games of all time. See you next time.